Dienstag ist Dilemmatag. Welcome to episode 10 of our little dilemma combination show. Today's dilemma combo comes from Jason Drake. It was played in the World Championship Final 2017, and the attempting crew was suggested by the Star Trek CCG Facebook group and the Dojo Discord server. So let's have a look. We are attempting intercept dignitary here, and it was suggested that we bring the Beatrice with Conmel and Chorus aboard. So let's run into the first dilemma. And we see those meddling kids here, Jake and Nog. To get a pass requires honor and no security. There's honor, and we also have security, so we can't use the left side of the requirements. Let's have a look at the right side. Civilian, anthropology, diplo, youth, and a personal with strength less than 8. 5 different requirements, and we have exactly none of them. So that goes back under. And our brain trust suggested that for the next attempt, we'll bring multiple copies of Zigov, boosted by lots of equipment, like pads for more cunning, lower decks, a tricorder to give them all science, a medical pad to give them all medical, and we also had the old-time suggestion that a boy and his Targ should come along. So we treat in Alexander and the Targ. And with that, we realize that we still can't get past if we just attempt with the full crew, thanks to the strange no security requirement here. So we have to find a combination of personnel that has honor, but we can't bring along any of our securities. But let's just use Conmel on our second attempt. So we have honor and no security, so we get through. Let's have a look at the second dilemma. It's Quantum Leap. One officer of opponent's choice is relocated to a time location or disappears if no time location is in play. So seems like no time location is in play here. So one officer, there is one, is simply discarded. Bye-bye Conmel. To get past requires security and 2 archaeology. Okay, we'll keep that in mind for the next attempt. Since we know that one officer will be discarded again, we'll probably try an attempt without any officers now. We can bring 2 security, but we realize we don't have the archaeology anyway in this team. So with the personnel suggested here, we simply cannot get past. Double archaeology is a tough wall here anyway, but the beauty of this combo is that it really messes a little bit with the attempting skills that you need to bring. Let's have a look. Incentive-based economics has this very interesting requirement of no security. It's especially useful if you play it at a mission that requires security, because many people try and attempt with the mission requirements, so they'll be safe to point loss from lack of preparation. So this honor and no security hits quite often, because simply security is a very reasonable skill to have with you at all times. And the alternative set of requirements has the rare civilian, something people don't bother too often bringing, and also youth can be a bit of a problem because that's not always there. So this dilemma by itself has a very good chance of stopping a random team that attempts. Once we have cleared that, people will usually try and do the honor and no security part, because that is usually easier to assemble than the other set of requirements. They will then run into Quantum Leap. We can lose an officer here. If no officer is along, we'll just send the others to check the other requirements. Security and double archaeology. As we said, archaeology can be tough, but what's really interesting here is that most often people run into this after they have attempted with no security, and the next dilemma requires it. So we are stopped by this. And to clear this, we will then have to bring in a crew that has security and 2 archaeology. But most people will now try and keep officers out of the mission attempt, because upon encountering this dilemma again, they will lose 1 officer again. But there are some crews that you can assemble that will then get through without losing the second officer. And then, of course, the last dilemma is Maglock, which now again requires 3 officer with strength greater than 5 each. and we might have filtered out those with the quantum leap. So it's really leave security at home, bring security, but try and leave officer at home, bring officers. So in theory, it's possible to run through this combination on the first attempt if you have the right crew, if you have enough officers, if you have all the other weird requirements. But most of the time, this turns out to stop the mission for 3 turns. This is a good stop, this is a good stop, this is a good stop, and just the way the skills are arranged here on the dilemmas can really mess with how a player decides to attempt these, because they never know what the next dilemma is, so they try and build crews that can deal with maybe some other stuff. So while it doesn't kill a lot or destroy ships or anything, it is a very good set of dilemmas that simply delays you for quite some time. Okay, that's it for today. That was the 10th episode of our first set here of the first season. We managed to not repeat any dilemmas, and for the next batch of episodes, we'll try and see whether we can look at a couple of new ones, because there will be new sets coming out before the end of the year. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye bye.